video, I'm gonna be trying out every single film stock that Cinestill makes. I'm on Highway 395 here in California on a beautiful road trip up to Lake Tahoe. Highway 395 is maybe one of the most beautiful roads in California. It's on the eastern side of the Sierra Mountains, and I thought it'd be a great trip to have a little bit of fun and make a video trying each of the film stocks that Cinestill makes back to back in 35mm on my Leica CL. With me, I have Cinestill 50D, 400D, 800T, and their black and white film BWXX. They're all motion picture based films, and I'm really excited to try them out and make a video for you guys. And you get to see a sample of what each one of these films looks like back to back on the same camera on the same trip. I think maybe since it's really bright, it's the middle of the day, and I can probably use the lowest ISO film right now, I'll start with 50D and make my way up to 800T for some night photos, I'd guess.
Oh, nah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Or, yeah, that too.
Yeah, I think I could save those.
Successful.
Good start to the trip.
Dude, this was my best work on here. This was my next book. Just a little effort in post and we'll bring them all back to life. Willem, Verbeeck, and the Lost are all. We'll never know what was on that boy.
Let me talk a little bit more about Cinestill 50D. Basically, this film is a Kodak movie film that Cinestill buys from Kodak. It's called Kodak Vision 3 50D. And what Cinestill does is they remove the remjet layer from this film, which is like a layer that's required for movie cameras when the film's moving at really high speed through the camera. And so Cinestill removes this layer, and because of that, you can develop the film in C41, which is just like the normal color film chemistry that you would develop Kodak Portra or really any other color film in. I think its only limitation is that 50 ISO. Obviously, you need a ton of light to properly expose a 50 ISO film. So for example, midday like today,
Here for like 2 seconds. And this thing's cooked.
that was 36.
Not looking good for my finances right now.
I just unloaded my last couple frames of Cinestill 50D on the ice cream guy, bringing the American flag inside for the day. So that's it for my first roll of 50D. I don't think I've ever shot that film stock in 35mm, but I'm pretty curious to see the results. So I think the next logical film stock to go to is Cinestill 400D. There it is. The film base is actually purple, which is kind of crazy. And I'm gonna load this up into my Leica. I've shot Cinestill 400D before, but I definitely want to give it another chance. I shot it very early on, right when it was coming out. So I'm excited to give it another go and see what I can do with it. There we go, ready to shoot 400D. I'm glad I'm back to 400 speed. That 50 was tough. We're gonna drive around Lake Tahoe today. To start the day off, we're gonna hit up a beach and see if there's some people hanging out, because it's Memorial Day weekend and it should be pretty lively, which is always nice to photograph. I want to talk a little bit about Cinestill 400D though. Unlike Cinestill 50D and 800T, 400D is actually a little bit more, I want to say, of a custom formula of a film. I find that pretty interesting. It is daylight balanced and it is 400 ISO, so it's nice and flexible to shoot throughout the day like this or in the evening hours. It's a nice speed. I like shooting 400. That's where I'm usually always at, and Lake Tahoe is looking absolutely beautiful, so I'm stoked to take some photos here today while it's actually lively, because you may have seen my Porsche 996 road trip. We were here just a month ago and it was like a ghost town, and now just a month later, it's super lively. There's people at the beach, everybody's out having fun. So it's gonna be a really fun day to shoot some photos around the town and just all around the lake and explore it a little more. It's currently the middle of the day. I finished the roll of BWXX on the beach. I was shooting a little faster there, so kind of blew through that roll of film. I want to save the Cinestill 800T for kind of like blue hour, golden hour, nighttime. I think it would look really nice. So for now, to kill the rest of the day, I'm going to throw in a roll of Portra. I won't fill a ton of time in the video with it, but I will throw in a couple sample photos just because it should be a nice baseline for comparison. I'm especially curious since these photos will be processed in the exact same way that all the Cinestill photos have been processed, same scanner, same everything. So it should be a really nice direct comparison. And then in the evening, I'll go back to shooting Cinestill 800T because I want to get some night shots. And that will then be the 4 Cinestill films. It's a little later in the day now, and I think it's time for the final of the 4 film stocks, which is Cinestill 800T. This is the one I'm most excited about because I haven't shot it in a few years, and I think it's their most unique offering. It's an 800 ISO film stock, which means it's a lot more sensitive to light than, for example, the 50D that we shot at the very beginning of the video, and it's tungsten balanced, which means that it has a bit of a bluer look. We're gonna head to Reno, which is about 45 minutes north of where we are right now, to test this film stock out at night. I think it looks fantastic at night because of that tungsten balance. The higher ISO helps as well, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. So let's head to Reno, load this up in the Leica, and take some night photos to finish off this video and test maybe their most famous film stock. Well, we made it to Reno. It's late at night. We're in a completely empty parking garage, and there's some cool views here to shoot this Cinestill 800T. I think it's gonna look fantastic. There's a ton of lights here, which makes it just a fun place to shoot some night photos, especially with Cinestill. So we're gonna walk around here for a while, see what we can do, and see what Cinestill 800T looks like at night. I had a ton of fun shooting all of these different film stocks from Cinestill, and I want to share some of my thoughts quickly. I think I was most pleasantly surprised by the roll of 800T that you just saw in Reno, Nevada. The tungsten balanced nature of the film just gives it that beautiful blue look, which looks fantastic at night, especially with all of these city lights in the background as well. I'm always on the fence about whether or not I like the halations or not, but I think in this instance they do add a little bit of a pop of color, and it pairs well with that blue tungsten balance. The images definitely have a very intense look from the film stock, and when I see photos like this, I always immediately think of Cinestill 800T. I was a little bit disappointed, I think, by the Cinestill 50D. I thought the look was quite strong, quite saturated. There was a lot of contrast, much more than I had anticipated, but I didn't dislike the photos by any means. I think my favorite from the 50D had to be this photo of the ice cream shop closing down for the day. You can definitely see the highlights are really bright. The whites tend to bloom really easily on this film from what I could tell, but the colors are nice. I think they're just a little bit too saturated for my liking. Another pleasant surprise was actually the 400D. I thought it was pretty clean all around, and especially this time around, I scanned everything myself together with all the other rolls. And I thought the 400D was a pretty nice, versatile film stock. It looked great in all the different lighting scenarios, and this is definitely one I'll be coming back to in the future. I'll leave Jimmy's Instagram down below. He was on the trip with me. He shot like half this video, and you can check out some of his work in the description. Finally, a huge thank you to the sponsor of this video, which is Squarespace. Squarespace is an incredible all-in-one website building platform that you can use to build your photography portfolio online. I've been using Squarespace for so many years now, and they've made it so easy to get a website up and running with my photography. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, you can hit the link in my description for a 14-day free trial of Squarespace. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Willem for 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.